0203 hours, Western Pacific Ocean off Guam. At sunrise, the sea looked calm, blue horizons, scattered trade wind clouds. Yet 5 kilometers below, an invisible network pulsed with life. The Pacific Defense Cable, a communications line linking U.S. naval bases from Hawaii to Guam and onward to Japan. For decades, it had carried encrypted command traffic, navigation updates, and early warning telemetry. At 2:03 hours, sensors in a U.S. undersea maintenance node registered an anomaly, a faint magnetic fluctuation moving slowly along the cable, too regular to be a current, too quiet to be natural. 0209 hours, Joint Information Center, Honolulu. Operators watched the graph spike again, magnetic variance traveling east at 2.8 knots. The duty officer frowned. No scheduled submersible in that sector. He keyed a command to the Pacific Maritime Network. Possible foreign ROV, near defense, cable node 7, verify. 0227 hours. South China Sea Research Institute, Classified Operations Bay. Thousands of miles away, a small team monitored their own feed, low-band acoustic telemetry from a deep-diving autonomous vehicle known internally as Haiyan 9, Sea Swallow. Officially, it was gathering geological samples. Unofficially, it was mapping electromagnetic emissions from fiber optic cables. It's onboard A. I followed a programmed corridor that skirted the limits of international waters, never crossing a border yet always near enough to listen. 0242 hours. Depth 5020 meters, mid-Pacific Trench. The drone's cameras revealed a gray abyss. Silt clouds drifted like smoke as mechanical arms extended toward a narrow ridge, the trench wall that hid a segment of the Pacific Defense Cable. A precision laser scanner mapped the sheath thickness. The mission objective was data, not damage, to measure energy leakage and signal timing for electronic warfare modeling. But the drone sensors detected something unexpected. 0255 hours, U.S. Undersea Surveillance Array, Node 7A. Contact confirmed, said the sonar analyst. Object at depth 5020 meters, length 8 meters, non-acoustic propulsion. That meant electric thrusters, a sign of advanced stealth design. The officer in charge ordered activation of the autonomous interceptor, Sentinel-12, a compact robot built to shadow intruders without revealing its own identity. 0314 hours. Below the thermocline, Haiyan 9's cameras caught a glimmer. 2 concentric rings of green light approaching from behind. The AI interpreted it as a drifting sensor buoy and altered course by 3 degrees, but the pattern matched Sentinel-12's scanning lasers. Both drones now circled the same cable line, unaware of each other's true origin. 0322 hours. Surface Command Link, U.S. Research Vessel, Independence. Sentinel reports visual contact. Target shape irregular, likely unmanned. Confirm nation of origin, negative. No transponder, composite hull, lithium-sulfur battery signature. That battery chemistry narrowed it to 2 countries on Earth. A communications officer muttered, guess which one builds them at that depth? 0336 hours. Depth 5040 meters. Undersea standoff. The Pacific floor was silent except for the hum of electric motors. Sentinel hovered 20 meters above the cable. Haiyan 9, recognizing a sonar ping it didn't expect, switched to autonomous defense mode, shutting down lights and freezing propulsion. For the next 8 minutes, both machines simply watched each other in the dark. 0344 hours. Honolulu Command Center. Telemetry feeds turned chaotic. 2 objects now stationary at the same coordinates. Admiral Reed leaned over the console. Do not engage. We want data, not escalation. Engineers rerouted the cable traffic through a secondary node to prevent any possible eavesdropping. The mission had shifted from routine monitoring to counterintelligence in real time. 0358 hours. Depth 5041 meters. Sentinel-12 slowly ascended, broadcasting a coded sonar tone intended to trigger any autonomous recorder to self-diagnose. Haiyan 9 interpreted it as a fault check from its own network and responded, sending back an encrypted burst identifying itself as Unit H9 Pacific. That was the proof analysts needed. Its telemetry header matched the sequence used by a well-known Chinese deep-sea program. 0406 hours, command decision, Honolulu. Identity confirmed? Yes, sir. Haiyan series autonomous platform. Retrieve it if possible. Depth is 5 kilometers, sir. That's beyond mechanical arm range. Then we record everything and bury the incident. The order went out to deploy an ocean floor acoustic curtain, essentially an array of sensors to track any movement around the cable for the next 72 hours. 0419 hours, Haiyan 9, mission abort protocol. The drone received a high-frequency command from its satellite relay. Abort mission, return route delta. Its thrusters engaged, releasing a cloud of sediment as it rose slowly toward neutral depth. Before leaving, it transmitted one final compressed data packet upward through the ocean column, a record of everything it had scanned. The signal was detected briefly by a civilian weather satellite before being lost in solar interference. 0433 hours, U.S. telemetry log entry. Unidentified AUV, departed cable zone signal, lost at 431Z. No damage to infrastructure detected. Officially, nothing happened. Unofficially, two nations had just tested each other's resolve and proven that the next frontier of surveillance wasn't in the sky, but 5 kilometers under the sea. As dawn broke over the Pacific, the ocean looked peaceful again, but hidden beneath, tiny lights drifted through the darkness, machines listening, measuring, learning. The world would never hear about the encounter at Node 7A, but the data it produced would quietly shape the future of underwater intelligence for years to come. 0500 hours, Western Pacific Operations Command, Honolulu. The first sunlight touched the Pacific as analysts replayed the previous night's telemetry. Two contacts 5 kilometers below had stared at each other in the dark. One belonged to them. The other, they now knew, did not. Mark this classified level 3, Admiral Reed ordered. We start recovery before anyone else finds it. 0527 hours. Deployment of Recovery Team Delta. A civilian research vessel under a scientific contract left Guam before dawn. To the outside world, it was charting marine geology. In reality, it carried an autonomous grappling drone called Poseidon 6, designed to retrieve or neutralize objects at abyssal depth. Its mission: reach Node 7A, locate any remaining foreign device, and bring back proof quietly. 611 hours. Depth 4, 980 meters. Poseidon's lights cut through the darkness. The cable shimmered faintly, coated in sediment. Then, a small metallic sphere came into view, wedged against the line. Laser readings confirmed it. A sensor capsule, barely larger than a baseball, transmitting weekly, energy source still active. The operator said, "Retrieve or disable." Retrieve. Carefully. A robotic claw closed around the sphere. It detached cleanly. No booby traps, no resistance. 0633 hours, recovery confirmed. When the sphere reached the surface, engineers sealed it in a water-filled containment pod. Inside, miniature photonics, a low-power transmitter, and a memory core stamped with a serial in simplified Chinese characters. It was the evidence they needed, and the secret they could never announce. 710 hours. Beijing, National Oceanic Research Center. Half a world away, technicians watched their own screens dim. The Haiyan 9 had failed to deliver its full data load. Its final signal showed a sudden current surge, a hint that something had interfered. Superiors ordered all public research activity suspended for maintenance. Officially, nothing was lost. Unofficially, they knew the Americans had retrieved the probe. 07:42 hours. Honolulu Analysis Lab. Engineers dissected the capsule under microscope. It wasn't designed to record messages or break encryption. It measured cable vibration, optical bleed, and acoustic phase delay, the fingerprints of data flow. A surveillance tool for mapping bandwidth usage, not stealing information. Still, its presence on a defense cable was undeniable. Cyber counterintelligence officers drafted a quiet note for Washington. Evidence of foreign hydroacoustic mapping device recovered. No structural compromise. 8:25 hours. Diplomatic back channel, Singapore. In a windowless conference suite, two mid-level envoys met under the guise of trade consultations. One passed a sealed envelope across the table. Inside was a single photograph, a metallic sphere resting in a gloved hand. "This never happened," the American said. The reply was calm. "Agreed. We will keep our research vessels west of the line. No signal signatures, no witnesses, only silence, the currency of deep-sea diplomacy. 9:03 hours. Guam Naval Station. Poseidon 6 returned for maintenance. Technicians logged a final note. Foreign objects secured. Mission successful, no media release. Within hours, every record of the recovery was encrypted and stored under Project Blue Current. The name would never appear in any official archive. 11 to 15 hours, Pacific Trench, depth 5,000 meters. Far below, the original cable segment hummed softly. Autonomous sensors replaced the disturbed portion, adding new anti-tapping layers. For now, the network was secure, but sonar buoys soon picked up a distant echo, the faint signature of another drone hundreds of miles away, moving deeper into the trench. No identification, no response. The watchers were still being watched. 12 o'clock hours, Washington briefing room. Admiral Reed summarized the findings. The lesson's simple, he said. Undersea cables are our arteries. If someone listens long enough, they'll hear the heartbeat of every fleet. His report ended with a single recommendation: expand deep-sea counter-surveillance. The next conflict may start at 5,000 meters. Weeks later, the Pacific returned to silence. Cargo ships crossed, storms passed, and satellites traced their endless orbits. Yet beneath it all ran a hidden web of sensors, drones, and listening posts, each one trying to outhear the other. There were no explosions, no borders crossed, no headlines, only the slow, constant pulse of invisible machines competing for knowledge. The oceans keep their secrets well, but in the age of data, even silence speaks.